puisque oui les gens, on se retrouve sur un livestream de Bungie pour le ViDoc, et puis ils vont montrer aussi du gameplay de la frontière hors la loi. Donc on va suivre ça ensemble. Alors vous savez que j'étais chez Bungie il y a 2 semaines pour tester Rebelle, donc vous allez pas, je vais pas faire genre je réacte à des trucs en mode oh là là dis donc forcément vu que j'ai déjà joué, mais il faut que je fasse aussi attention à pas vous briser les embargos, puisque c'est à partir de demain que vous aurez mes vidéos du coup sur Rebelle, à partir de 19h ce mercredi 26. Mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, 11 vidéos qui sortent sur l'extension. Et du coup, voilà, donc si je suis pas en mode waouh, c'est que j'ai déjà joué et que je veux pas non plus en plus glisser et vous donner une info avant l'embargo. Bien sûr, mais en tout cas trop contente de suivre ça, et on va suivre ça en duo avec Rodou comme on avait fait la dernière fois. Voilà, qui stream aussi de son côté d'ailleurs. Je mettrai le lien dans la description pour ceux que ça intéresse. Sur la Redif. Et bienvenue à tous sur le live, c'est plaisir que vous soyez au rendez-vous. Let's go. Ça m'a mis un coup de pression quand t'as dit ah et que moi mon écran n'avait pas changé. Mais en fait si, il a changé. C'est parti.
Ouais, c'était un petit fondu.
1 minute les gens. 1 minute. Juste à mettre pause. Allez, je mets pause et je relance mon poil. Attends.
La musique est calme. Ah.
Oh. C'est fort. Ouais.
You were supposed to protect the people, not rule them. The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
No!
I've been waiting so long for this. Dredge and hope.
Ah.
They've shown me a vision I can't shake. New Cabal, the Barrent Imperium, sprung up out of nowhere across the system. That doesn't just happen. It's the Nine, and I'm putting together a crew to prove it. What do you say, Weapon?
Welcome to the new Mars. Now the only law on Tharsis is the gun on your hip and the light in your hands. You'll do well here. I don't relish doing business with these leeches. But we need to find out what the Dredgen are after.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much? It's time to take the fight to the Imperium.
Finish it. And the Imperium is yours to lead. You will fall. The next time we meet.
Only one play left.
Et il utilise le meilleur revolver du jeu.
Le trailer est à basse.
Il est trop bien.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bungie, or our cantina today. We have converted our stream room in celebration of our upcoming release, Destiny 2 Renegades, collaborative effort with Lucasfilm Games. We are so excited. My name is Dylan. I'm going to be your host today, and we have a lot to go through. Have a few housekeeping notes before we dive in. Ultimately, if you are on Twitch, if you watch for 15 minutes, we have a fantastic emblem for you to earn, Seekers Not Saints. Make sure your Bungie.net account is linked, and you will earn this reward. Additionally, our community team, hey community team, love you. They're going to be going through chat throughout this stream and after we raid Leopard Stealth, one of our good friends. We have 25 Year of Prophecy digital editions to be handing out. So make sure your DMs are open. Keep an eye out for a DM from Bungie. And yeah, you might get yourself a code for a platinum platform that we offer. So What are we talking about here today? We just had our launch trailer. Destiny 2 Renegades is launching in 7 days. Countdown right now.
2
7 days from
décembre.
now, you're going to be in there playing. We got blasters. We got the Praxic Blade. We have a new ViDoc that actually we are sharing today. And this is going to be called Making of a Renegade. So after we watch our ViDoc, we have a panel of developers on the couch. We're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier, our new activity that is coming with this experience, full of loot, full of fun experiences, and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's watch a new ViDoc, ViDoc 2,
Donc le
Making
ViDoc.
of a Renegade.
Et
Take
pour
it
la
away.
question, est-ce que c'est Star Wars et Destiny? C'est justement la frontière des deux.
This is
Inspiré
Destiny
Star
with a
Wars.
Star Wars lens, like this really cool combination that hasn't been done before.
I can't wait to take a Praxic Blade to Mars.
Don't be a ridiculous fan. Just stay cool.
Wait, we gotta swat it up and play through. Oh, yeah.
Oh, le 7-800 est tellement beau.
Et c'est fait avec Lucasfilm, c'est en partenariat, en collaboration.
This is why we got into games in the first place. Early on, we developed this North Star, authentically Destiny, unmistakably Star Wars. It has to be something that feels like a Destiny story. It can't feel like a one-off. This can't feel like a side quest, right? Like this has to be a continuation of the Fate Saga.
I had this vision. I knew it came from the Nine.
But with Star Wars beats and Star Wars visual.
Mais ils vous ont redit que c'est bien la suite des
This
confins
is
du destin.
uncharted territory for Lucasfilm Games, and that this is the first time we're telling a story inspired by Star Wars within a different universe.
Pareil,
At the
Sam.
heart of like, I think every Guardian's identity is like this healthy, independent, rebellious streak.
We were excited to actually explore that scoundrel fantasy, bounty hunters, the syndicates going out and doing jobs with a ragtag team.
Ouais, celui qui parle, il est de
We took
Lucasfilm, justement.
inspiration from Star Wars to ensure the scale, visual language, soundtrack, and cinematic storytelling in Renegades delivered on everything fans have come to expect from the franchise.
The Praxic Blade collaboration
Ça, c'est
stands
stylé,
out to
de toute
me.
Because
Ouais, de fou.
lightsabers are so iconic, it was absolutely critical to get that balance right.
The team at Lucasfilm Games was just so solutions focused. It wasn't, no, it has to be this way. It was a lot of back and forth and asking questions about how would this work? Well, let's talk about it. All right, oh, so we need a different energy source. Okay, what would that look like?
It was all about like what is best for the player.
When we announced this collaboration in the studio, James may or may not have been wearing a fighter pilot helmet.
Yeah. Destiny and Star Wars shared that same beating heart. I was like, oh, this is gonna be special.
Le 2 décembre, Caillot.
We were given such a unique challenge.
Oui.
How can we achieve the aesthetic and the feel of Star Wars without losing the narrative threads that we've created so far for Destiny at the same time?
It wasn't until we found our footing with creating a foundation in Destiny that things started to click together.
I remember the first time that we went down to San Francisco. We had this really big meeting where it was the Destiny narrative folks on one side and the Star Wars narrative folks on the other side. We broke the ice by just asking, what's the bad version of this? We had a really good laugh over what that looked like. And through that, we kind of uncovered that this should be the aesthetic, the vibe of Star Wars with the truth to Destiny's narrative that we knew needed to be there too. We begin 2 months after the Edge of Fate has happened. The world has moved and changed, and we're still trying to figure out what Binding the Nine means.
The Vanguard have redacted the prophecy of extinction.
They don't want the public to panic over this prophecy.
The crux of our story is the Drifter asking us to help him break Vanguard law for good reason to confront a new rising faction of Cabal called the Barren Imperium. It's what drives Eris to help the Drifter out as well as the player Guardian.
When we were thinking about what kinds of characters should be in this release, we thought about the kinds of archetypes we see throughout Star Wars.
Yeah, and Drifter is an easy parallel. He and Han Solo share a cocky attitude, both former criminals.
In Star Wars, there's a plethora of sassy droids. We have our own version of that through Ghosts, and Blue is no exception.
Oh, look. Thanks for nothing.
Blue is a Drifter's ghost, and I think as soon as people hear her, they'll be delighted and incredibly surprised.
Our voice cast is stacked. Dredgen Bale is portrayed by Alex Lee, who is amazing.
You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them.
And we also got
trop bien, ça va.
Hollywood actual
l'attitude.
royalty Danny Houston to play
J'aime
Premier
trop.
Loom, the head of the Barrent Imperium. Being able to work with
Bon, lui,
someone
moins.
from that kind of IMDb page was such an honor, and I was completely normal the whole time.
Surrender to the Barrett Imperium.
Ça, c'est des épaules.
Loom became this sweeping militaristic figure that I think is going to be a really good parallel to Grand Moff Tarkin or other evil military leaders
Oui, c'est vrai.
from the Empire.
So even though we're introducing
Il est
new
pas très
characters,
beau.
we're still looking backwards at some of Destiny lore's most long-standing characters. Honor is another example of that. She's our Praxic warlock.
She's loosely meant to be a parallel
Elle
to
est
something
stylée.
like a Jedi in Star Wars. She was part
suis
of
fan.
a
Yeah.
Vanguard internal affairs group that would police Guardians on the
que
usage
c'est un
of
arc.
darkness.
Don't make me regret abandoning my post to help
Mais
you.
j'aime vraiment l'autre là.
Yeah, she has to grow up with the times a little bit because the world has changed and a whole lot of people are using darkness now. And she gets
Bah,
to
elle,
grow
ça fait.
and kind of ask herself, like, am I still adhering to my own values if I allow myself to be open to these kinds of ideas?
The Drifter belongs with us.
The Drifter left your cult long ago.
And then there's Bale, Dredgen Bale.
Dredgen is a dark guardian that represents absolute
Il est trop
darkness.
stylé.
Dredgen
Il
Bale
est trop
doesn't
bon.
like the fact that we're ruled by a city of immortals who can't step
Totalement
down
Dark
and that weren't
Sasuke.
elected. He's got kind of a point, but his methods for addressing that point suck. He makes many bad choices. One of my favorite parts about a lot of villains in Star Wars is that they have just like the capability of making a right choice and then consistently do not make good choices.
Bale is trying to fill a hole in his life in all the wrong ways.
And he just can't, and he never will. But man, we're gonna hope that he does someday.
The time of guardians as shepherds of
Le skin,
humanity
j'avoue.
is over.
Oui. J'espère qu'on va lui voler son manteau.
This has been an opportunity where you love Destiny, you love Star Wars, you want to do something with both. What are you going to put into it?
Oh my god, it was such a challenge at first, finding that sweet spot of how do we make something that can live in both worlds and not feel out of place in either, but also feel totally new
La
and
réponse est oui,
exciting.
si, si.
It wasn't always about where do we find the exact middle ground, 50-50 Star Wars and Destiny, because at that point, you're feeling almost a little derivative.
There's those moments along the way when we were like, this is just Star Wars. This is not the purpose of the collaboration. We want to have something kind of new that makes you think of both. I remember when we were trying to figure out what we're going to do with our new Cabal.
We started in that place where it's just Cabal wearing a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until we
Le mec qui
injected
s'appelle
more of
Benjamin.
that weird alien
C'est le mec le
design
plus
of a
bavard
lot of these
du
armor
studio.
sets. That was
Vraiment.
kind of what switched it over from this
Il
is
est
too
passionné.
derivative to this is really working. I think it comes through in the
Tu es à
visuals
droite.
and every single map. There are little Easter eggs
Il
and little
commence, il
treats
s'arrête
here and
plus.
there that we
Non,
hid
vraiment.
around. And Lucasfilm Games has been awesome at collaborating with us
Là, il se retient,
and
là.
even putting some of their input onto our maps so we can really give the players
se
something
voit.
exciting.
The switch flipped in my head like, oh, we would never have done this without this collaboration was the Syndicates.
Yeah.
We're going places with the Vex and the Elixni and the Cabal
Beau,
that we
oui.
really weren't going to go before.
Je savais que t'allais
And
bien
trench
aimer.
coats.
And trench
Mais
coats.
ouais,
Yeah.
j'aime
We
bien.
have Vex and trench coats that are playing cards. It's so awesome, and I don't think we would have dared do that if we didn't have this opportunity.
No, and it was
Moi,
the
j'ai
perfect
sombré.
time in our universe to
Je suis
do it.
team
too.
Cabal.
The Star Wars fans on the team just start coming out, telling their stories about what they're excited to build, and far be it for me to get in the way.
Après, les cabales, là, ils sont stylés. Hein.
Bah,
We
c'est
make
ça.
a lot of weapons in Destiny. How do you take a weapon in Destiny, which we have literal like 4 digits of guns, and
Understatement.
right, and make something that feels new but also does justice for Star Wars? And Blaster was really obviously the choice. They're roughly in 2 groups. There's dynamic blasters, which are intended to be
Arrête de spoil ma
hitting,
vidéo.
firing a ton,
Il dévoilait beaucoup là.
Tais-toi.
brute force.
Vous avez les blasters
And
équilibrés,
then
les
we
blasters
have a number of
dynamiques.
balance blasters. As you're shooting,
Deux
shooting, shooting,
fonctionnements.
heat is building up. You're going to have a venting opportunity where you can hit a perfect vent. It's like functionally a reload, so you can start shooting again much faster.
Sweet. I gotta ask though, what about those Cabal blasters? Are they accurate?
What difficulty are you playing on?
Tu vois, il y en a qui utilisent le chaudron.
We have swords in Destiny, but we don't have a praxic sword. We don't have
We
a
do not.
lightsaber approximate.
Donc la lame praxique,
It's an
c'est le sabre
exotic
laser.
primary weapon that's kinetic.
Dans l'emplacement
Where you can
principal,
deflect a bunch of blasts,
cinétique.
kill enemies with it, and throw it out and get a ton of damage.
On peut le lancer, on peut renvoyer les dégâts.
On dire qu'une fois que ça va être loot, ça va jamais partir du spot.
Having the sandbox
Et c'est
be able
considéré
to
comme une épée.
explore this new like ability ecosystem with renegade abilities.
Et ça c'est trop cool à utiliser là, ce qu'il vient de faire là.
We've taken so much of this opportunity and turned it into what we can like grow.
Every corner of the game, from the art, the design,
Ça a rien à voir avec les sabres
audio,
laser.
music, UI, the rewards,
Oh, c'est
completely
beau ça.
infused with the magic of the collaboration. It's really been a real treat to be a part of.
Yeah, super satisfying.
La musique.
Good morning, everybody. Didn't mean to wake you up with that beat, sorry. The overarching theme for this was to create a score for this release that felt like it was cohesive as a whole. We're all talking to each other and collaborating with each other. We were able to explore different ways of orchestrating, different ways of writing with the orchestra that expand on the Destiny palette and make it fresh and new. When I look at the Star Wars scores, there were certain elements that naturally fit string flourishes or wood flourishes that would play into a certain moment. When it's like, oh, I know I want something to feel more Williams, so I'll push it, not this Williams, the John Williams. I'll push it more in that world.
Another thing too is the amount of percussion. I had some ideas that felt more full-on Star Wars, and once you like flesh out the percussion arrangement, it instantly sounds more Destiny as a result.
For me, a lot of it was about framing, where when I use a lot of the Destiny themes, how I set them up and how I'm transitioning in and out of moments are much more
En gros, il y a
Star
trois
Warsy in terms
compositeurs.
of the harmony and orchestration.
I
Pour
think
une
the
musique
most
de jeu
exciting part
vidéo.
about this was the
C'est là qu'on se
opportunity
rend
to
compte que
work
c'est vraiment
with
un
these
travail
guys
de
and
malade.
Mike.
Ouais. Ah, de toute façon,
You
de plus en plus.
definitely
hein.
made it a point to kind of bring us together and
Dans
listen
tous les jeux.
to each other's music.
But Brendan, you wrote something with the most beautiful oboe solo in it, and it drives me nuts that I didn't think of it first.
No one wanted to follow Brendan, is what it came down to. Brendan's cues just sound amazing from the start.
J'ai eu envie de rire avec eux, mais tout à fait.
I remember Nolan, your first high action cue. Everyone was like, oh, whoa. Because it's really fast, really intense. Josh kept on like spinning around and looking at you.
Humans have to play this. Jeez.
Destiny has like so many themes, and that's like a great vehicle for doing the Star Wars spin.
Our first meeting was discussing that main theme, and I remember hearing it for the first time. And everybody kind of perked up when we all heard it. We're all having ideas that were just a little bit different from one another. That was all sort of impacted what the final version of the theme was.
Dredge and Bale. That kind of teed off the main theme, and the fact that we were exploring the idea of this kind of anti-Guardian character set in this story of scoundrels. We wanted something that would be a backbone to tell a longer arc story. It has a layer of ominousness to it, it has a layer of mystery to it, but it can be turned other ways.
I felt a sense of menace.
Yeah.
C'est cool qu'ils aient fait un pan sur la musique.
I'm just excited to get to experience it with players.
Just really hope that, personally, I've written something that they can really connect with and love.
Aww.
And if I can cause a couple of goosebumps in there, I'll take that as a bonus too.
Ça montre qu'elle a l'air d'avoir une grosse place
taken
dans
on
le
a
DLC
journey
de la musique.
Ouais.
that inspires them and
En fait,
makes
c'est
them
toujours
feel
le
like
cas, mais là, c'est bien de le mettre en avant.
this world is
C'est
really
important
unique
dans
and
Star
really
Wars.
special.
Et c'est aussi
My
un gros
favorite
truc dans
feeling
Star
as a
Wars, la musique.
creator
donc,
is getting to watch someone's look of like absolute surprise.
I want players to
dis donc.
feel hope, that exciting, boundless potential that Destiny has, and world of possibility that Star Wars unlocked.
I've been waiting so long for this.
Ah là là.
Ouais.
Ça peut être demain, le 2 décembre, s'il vous plaît.
Bah, en vrai, je trouve que c'est bien que là, on a une semaine. Je trouve que ça va, tu vois. Genre, c'est...
Ouais, une semaine, ça va, c'est bien.
Ouais.
All
Plus,
right,
ça
welcome
aurait
back to the
été,
cantina. So what you just saw was our second ViDoc, Making of a Renegade, or What It Takes to Make a Renegade. This is our moment to really peel back the curtain and show you how games are made. It's a monumental effort, and what you saw, it was a mix of our narrative design, audio, our collaboration efforts with Lucasfilm Games. Many thanks to everyone involved. Also, a few folks that weren't pictured there, ranging from design, production, test. Even a shout out, I got to give it to IT for keeping our computers running, and our services folks too for keeping our servers running. So today we're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier. This is our new activity coming with Destiny 2 Renegades, and we have 3 developers on our couch to talk us through what we're seeing. It'll be a fun deep dive. So without further ado, let's get some introductions. Eric Smith, we're starting with you.
DMG, Damage04. Yes, my name is Eric Smith. I am a combat design lead on Destiny 2. You may know me from my work where I was the design lead on the Strand subclasses. I started kind of making the stasis abilities, and most recently the Renegades ability.
Donc là, ils vont vous montrer un nouveau mode.
Yeah, next up, Tom.
Qui est important dans
Farnsworth. This is the
l'extension.
first time that you and I are in a stream together, but a quick introduction for folks that may not have seen you in previous ViDocs.
Yeah, so I'm Tom, the creative lead for Renegades, and I've been at Bungie for like, I don't know, I can't even remember, like 13, 14 years. Worked on Destiny 1, Destiny 2. The highlights were probably like Dreaming City, Season of the Splicer, 30th and Into Light were the most recent things I worked on leading in this, but this has been an absolute blast to work on.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining us today.
No,
and last but not least, our grid skipper aficionado, Taylor Bjorndal. How you doing?
Great. Yeah, Taylor Bjorndal, associate weapons designer, here to talk about all the rewards and blasters and the practice played and all the other stuff we made for you to chase.
Awesome. Yeah, so just for folks, if you end up missing anything, if we go a little bit fast, we got a lot to pack through. We'll have a VOD on Twitch and YouTube after this. And if you missed our ViDoc or the launch trailer, those will be uploaded as well. So what we're seeing on screen right now, we're launching into our Lawless Frontier activity. Tom, I would love to put the spotlight on you. Let's give a quick description. What is the Lawless Frontier?
So the Lawless Frontier is our core game mode in Renegades. You're going to play through some of the campaign, but it's really what comprises our end game. And the idea is that you're a renegade taking on these shady jobs like bounty hunting, smuggling, and sabotage from our syndicates, and you're doing so to increase your notoriety, your power, and your riches, and of course to get some sweet loot.
Yeah, and when you talk about bounty hunting, sabotaging, that kind of stuff, those are different types of this activity, right?
Yeah, bounty hunting is all about taking out a key syndicate boss. Sabotage is about blowing the heck out of everything with your renegade abilities, dropping airstrikes on Cabal vehicles, and smuggling is about grabbing everything that isn't tied down.
Yeah. in true fashion, when you're going into a dangerous spot, you got to just grab whatever you can find, right?
Yep.
So today we're going to be focusing on a bounty hunt, and I believe you said this is kind of like a quintessential Destiny vibe of an activity, right?
Yeah, it's probably the closest to a traditional Destiny activity, but you're going to start in the ready room, which is kind of a unique experience, and you're going to be able to pick your renegade abilities in there from your little shank buddy that's in there. You'll hop aboard a hawk, and you'll drop down to the destination. You can see we're
C'est un mode dans lequel vous pouvez
already
utiliser les
on one of the
pouvoirs.
Mars
C'est une
maps
nouveauté
that
de
we have.
l'extension.
All these jobs take place across Mars, Venus, and Europa, and there's 2 maps
Et il y a
on each
plusieurs maps.
destination. This is Hellas
J'aime le bizarre de
Fortitude,
cette arme.
and right now we're doing a bounty hunt, and
Laquelle?
we're working to draw out the intel
Celle qui est en
office
train
to track
d'utiliser là.
down where our target is.
Snipe?
Pas trop c'est quoi.
After this,
Ça
there'll
a l'air
be
d'être un snipe. C'est un
resurgence
snipe
of the
pro.
security forces
Ouais.
of that target. They'll have a classic boss fight, but with a bunch of wrinkles thrown in for gameplay here of things, hazards that are at play, your abilities, maybe an invader, which we'll talk about later, and then you'll exfil with your bounty and get some loot and take that back to our social space, Tharsis Junction, where you'll be able to spend your currencies to buy some of the cool blasters, or maybe some of the cosmetics and customizations for the Praxis Blade we're going to talk about later.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, so as we're going through this, we're going to be seeing a lot of abilities that players know and love on screen, but we have new abilities, renegade abilities, that are going to be for this activity. And Eric, you're going to be our person of knowledge here.
Yeah.
What do we got on screen?
Yeah, so Renegade Abilities is a new ability system we have in Renegades. What you do is we have a brand new button for you to press. That's going to be R3 on the controller and then Z on the keyboard. And that's going to kind of switch you into a different mode. That
Et on
gives
voit à
you new
gauche les
abilities
pouvoirs
for
en
your
fait,
grenade
sous la
and
barre de
your,
super quand il le lance.
That sends
Une
out
autre
one of these
interface.
tokens. We have here on the screen, you
Et on
can
en
see we have
emmène deux
one
dans
called
l'activité
Revitalize that
qu'on
heals
choisit.
you and provides you with ability energy. And then we have
Ça
the
pas
other
mal.
one, which is the Deflector Shield, which is this zone I can sit inside and shoot out of, and it blocks all the
Ça rappelle
incoming
un peu
damage.
l'activité qu'on
It's also
avait là
going
avec
to, for my
Vas-y.
allies who are
si on
inside
TP
the
sur
shield,
3 zones
it
différentes.
will,
Vas-y.
amplify them and
Non, c'était pas
jolt any
juste
enemies
celle
who
qu'on a eue
pass
là il y a
through.
pas longtemps.
And all
Ah
of
oui, celle
these
de
have
HNR.
7
Les
levels
chasses.
of upgrades. So when you first start,
crois que
they
c'est
will
les
have
chasses que
certain
ça s'appelle.
functionality and certain strength, and as you upgrade them, they're going to get better and better. And
Donc oui, les
they
pouvoirs, vous
really
allez pouvoir les
change
débloquer, les améliorer,
the gameplay,
et puis en avoir de
right?
plus en
Like
plus
they're
forcément.
kind of these pocket supers almost, that as a hunter, I'm able to be like, I'm going to build support, right? I'm going to choose these 2 support renegade abilities and make sure my team has what they need to survive this tough environment. You can also see in this mode we have non-regenerating health. So things like that Revitalize renegade ability are really going to come in handy to be like,
Ouais,
we
donc on a le
need to
fonctionnement sur
take
la
a break and
santé
heal,
qu'on a
let's
très
hop over
souvent
here
récemment
to
sur les
some
saisons,
safety, and anyone can build into that if that's what they want.
où la santé
You know, we
remonte pas
have things
d'elle-même.
like vehicles that you can pull in, or you can call down from your ship. So that's one thing. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, well, before we get to the ship, actually, let's talk a little
Là,
bit
ça
more
fait un
about the
mix de ce
health
qu'on avait déjà à peu près
mechanics
bien
of
aimé
it.
dans
Because
ce qui est déjà
we had
sorti
this
là.
in some previous
Dans les récentes
activities like
saisonnières,
Nether,
ouais.
and we got a ton of
Ouais.
great feedback on
Moi, ça
like,
m'y fait
how much
penser,
you get back,
mais il y
how
a
you get it back,
pas mal de
and
maps
I've seen
à lancer.
already in this activity, as you're going through, there's some
Et ce que
pots,
tu
there's some
fais
ways
sur
that you can
place,
get
c'est
it. There's
assez
the
varié.
Renegade's abilities,
Tu vois.
but Tom, if you want to talk a little
Ouais.
bit more about it.
We took
Vraiment
Nether as a
comme on
base,
a
but I think
apprécié
this is a
sur
little bit more
Resi ou autre.
forgiving.
Ça a l'air pas
The
mal.
way that health works
Les
is
Resi, on
you've
avait
got
bien
a
farmé,
large
donc,
pool of health.
Mm.
It does not regenerate at the top level, but if you get down to 0, it will regenerate to the base
Oh,
shield.
c'est vrai que
so you're
cette
gonna see a
dynamique là.
flashing screen. And you can either use a normal sandbox like a rift, a healing, a support weapon. You can crack open
Elle fait
these
beaucoup
pots
plus
that
de
have those
dégâts
little
quand tu
healing
l'exploites
orbs
dans
you can
les
see on
airs
the screen
maintenant.
to get some of your health back. Or
Et
you
vraiment
can
les
use things like
pouvoirs,
Revitalize and like build your renegade abilities
vous
into
verrez,
kind
mais
of dealing with those
moi j'ai
kind of
kiffé.
challenges we're putting in front of you. And one thing that I really like about this mode is like we've got expert,
J'ai une
master,
vidéo qui sort
grandmaster.
dessus
And
vendredi.
as grandmaster, you're really gonna need to use all these abilities that kind of like coordinate with your teammates and kind of build a loadout to kind of conquer.
Et là, ils
the
ont montré des
challenges.
trucs de support, mais il y a aussi des trucs
Yeah,
de
so
dégâts.
going back to,
bien
you
sûr.
had mentioned the ship when we're using our renegade abilities. And I think earlier, outside of the Vex Dome, there was kind of like an airstrike that happened too, right?
Yeah, we have a strafing run that you can upgrade, and your ship, so the one that you have customized and put your shader on, will fly through the arena and drop bombs in sequence, right?
C'est pas
And
bien,
as
ça
we
m'a envie de
upgrade
jouer à
this,
ça.
it gets more and more
Ah bah
devastating
ça.
until it like is, beyond any of the supers we have in the game. It's incredible. There's another one that is the Cabal drop pod, and what that does is, if you're familiar with the Cabal drop pod, it is this
Tu parles du largage
giant metal
Cabal.
ball that slams into the ground, And in
On avait
this
vu dans le
case,
premier
it's almost
trailer.
like a supply drop because it's full of ammo. And
Les boss
it's
sont ça,
also
oui.
going to squish anything under us. And it does incredible damage. Not only that, but it will damage you and your teammates. So you got to be really careful.
It will delete them.
Yeah, just delete them. You got to be
So
careful where you drop this.
Offensive supply drop.
Yeah, but you can be
Oh,
the
ce
Cabal
petit
now.
bruit
You can
satisfaisant
turn
quand tu lances les médailles.
Ah vraiment,
Yeah.
je kiffe.
So, Bjorndal, we've had you kind of sitting quiet
Vraiment,
over there. I'd love
et
to talk about the blasters
quand
that
vous progressez, vous pouvez en lancer
our players
plus.
have been
Vous
using.
pouvez vraiment
So
être en
in the
mode
ViDoc, we were talking about the
Genre, vraiment
balanced
stylé.
blaster and the dynamic blaster. Can you break
Et nous,
down
on fait
each,
que
just
dans-
a quick review of each, and then we can talk through some of the reload mechanics?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we have two
Les
sets of
cabales en
blasters, or two different kinds of blasters. The dynamics are like more
Oui,
aggressive,
c'est
harder
beau.
hitting, faster rate of fire. They can like generally punch above their weight class, but they're like a little bit harder to manage heat on. And the balanced blasters is more like a
Oui.
rain of bullets.
Salut
Like
Dex,
I'm just gonna
essayez,
unload
vous aurez des
on
vidéos à
a big
partir de
pack
demain
of
sur tout
stuff
ça.
and like really have like a deep mag.
Cool.
Et
And
oui,
what you
oui,
can
j'ai
see on
fait
screen
de
right here,
Frontier hors la
these
loi.
are going to be all the blasters that you can get from running our Lawless Frontier activity, and then we'll actually have a slate of blasters that you can earn through the dungeon, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But yeah, when it came
Ouais.
to really balancing blasters and bringing them into Destiny as a new
Bon, ça va, ça
kind of
brise pas
weapon
l'embargo
type,
de dire que j'ai passé un bon moment.
I would love to hear what were the challenges, what was some of the fun in developing those things with the team.
Absolutely,
Je
yeah.
peux pas
So
dire.
like one of the things that was in the ViDoc was
Ouais, moi
kind
ça me
of
plaît bien,
finding
c'est
the
dans le mood,
balance
comme
of
je
like
disais.
how much Star Wars versus how much Destiny we wanted on these things, and it was collaborative effort with
T'as l'impression de spawn sur
basically
une map
everybody on
où
the
tu peux
team.
faire plein de
These
choses.
were Mercurial's
Les
project for
pouvoirs
most
sont
of the
vraiment
release,
sympas.
but it was like a big effort on
Ça a l'air
design,
d'être pas mal
test,
agressé de tous les
animation,
côtés, c'est cool.
audio, to
Ouais,
really
ouais.
sell the
Bah, un peu.
experience of using these and to make
Le
them
mode
look and
d'achat
feel
en
apart
Iron
from
était un
what
peu
people would expect from both the Destiny gun
un prélude
and
à
Star
ça.
Wars
Hein.
blaster.
Ouais.
Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of loot and gear,
Dex.
our Guardian right now is using the new Praxic Blade and also getting smashed by a Cabal drop pod. But I'd love to hear about the customization that y'all developed for this, and this
Mais
can
j'en
be
ferai peut-être
Tom and Bjorn talk to it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so you're going to get the Praxic Blade by
Oh,
collaborating
les
with
dégâts de la
Nora
médaille, là.
throughout the campaign. She's going to like
Ah ouais,
deem
non,
you
c'est-
worthy of
Là, c'est
earning
c'était
it.
celle
Go
qui
on a
tire
cool
les
little quest that I don't
missiles,
want to
je crois.
spoil to earn one for
Je sais
yourself.
pas, il a balancé sa
And
médaille, il y
then,
avait plus personne après.
post-campaign,
T'as un
you're
mortier.
gonna unlock the ability to customize it. You're going to be able to change out your dark matter crystals and change the color of the blade to match your
J'ai
personality.
testé tous les pouvoirs.
And you're
Moi,
going
je
to be
les
able
connais
to
tous. Mais en
change a
vrai, dans
bunch
ma
of
vidéo,
different
je les ai pas
gameplay
tous.
elements, right?
J'ai pas envie de tout
Yeah,
spoil.
so there's a whole bunch of different things you can kind of
Laissez un
swap
peu de découverte
to
aussi.
fit your playstyle on this.
Oui, il y a les pots.
Where we have forms, cores, mods, and 4
Le
different
sabre, c'est
catalysts on
n'importe
it.
où. Tu peux
And
l'utiliser
the
Robin.
forms kind of change like how you can get ammo back and give
Les
you some
pouvoirs,
damage
c'est dans ce
bonuses
mode et
based
la
off
campagne.
of different gameplay styles. And the cores let you apply subclass verbs to a different part of what the weapon does, depending on
Le
some
sabre laser,
advantages
c'est
of
une vraie
subclass.
arme,
So
en
like
fait.
you can add sever to like the saber throw, or something else like weaken or jolting.
Yeah, it creates these really cool combos where I am strike,
On va
I'm
pouvoir faire un
throwing to
crop-ta ou
debuff
sabre
enemies
laser.
and then getting it back and striking again.
Yeah, and during a couple of our trial runs with this, you were talking about there are some animations and different combos in your melee structure, right?
Yeah. So there's like a 3 or 4 hit combo you can do where you will end it with like a big spinny move that's like very thematic, almost kind of like how the Arc Staff has like the little hidden combo there.
Awesome.
I did want to call out, we also saw the Renegade ability, the turret that we have. It is called the Piker Mortar, and it is like the strongest turret we've ever built. Like it is, it has crazy range, crazy damage, and is a really nice, I'm going to throw this thing out to manage this part of the map. Yeah, while I deal with
En vrai,
other
le
stuff.
sabre, là, tu le vois là.
Yeah, no, so as we're coming to the end of this activity, I'd love to just know kind of some of the narrative dressing. So,
Au niveau des combos, il
as you're
s'utilise
going
comme une
into the
épée.
Lawless Frontier, it's our
Vous
activity,
noterez
but
d'ailleurs
also
les
kind of
trucs
like
noirs
the
autour là quand il fait son
feel
combo en entier.
of this experience. And there's a turf war.
C'est l'artefact,
I know
ça.
Robbie in a previous stream we were talking
Et,
about the turf war a bit, but
et
Tom,
tu
if
peux
you
le
could
lancer
expand on
et
that, how
renvoyer
that
les
sets
balles.
up this
Il est
activity.
vraiment bien.
So in the end game, the syndicates are in this kind of ongoing turf war across Mars, Venus, and Europa.
Si vous voulez une
and you can
comparaison,
kinda
ils
take
s'utilisent
advantage
comme dans
of that
Fallen
by,
Order.
like, taking on their contracts that they offer and kind of
Ce qui est
winning
plutôt
out the day
positif.
for them. But in doing so, you can extract maximum power, profits, rewards from them, and you can take anything you earn through engaging in these jobs and completing these priority contracts they offer. You can go back to the social space. You can. They each have their own reward track, like the Pikers, the Tharsis Reformation. They offer weapons to unlock, new abilities, upgrades for those abilities. Some elements or mods for the Praxic Blade, and a whole bunch of other things like some shaders too. So you can kind of like rep your favorite syndicate on your armor, which is pretty cool. It's definitely one of with the Lawless Frontier, it's one of the most cohesive and deepest modes we've ever built. Like everything from this mode ties into the holo map, into the different mini game modes within it, into the social space. So like it's going to be exciting to see players kind of peel back all the layers
C'est un exotique ce qu'il est en train d'utiliser.
The darker corners like Invasion.
Yeah, and I mean, so we've progressed. We've defeated the boss that we were hunting down for our bounty hunt. And this portion of the activity is kind of emblematic of we're in a lawless frontier that's dangerous. Even after you finish your objective, now it looks like you got to fight your way out.
Yeah, so
mais en tout cas, on n'a pas cet effet Edge of Fate où c'était juste dans la campagne et après tu n'utilises plus la balle.
So it gets harder the longer you're there. So there's real pressure to get in,
do your objective, vraiment un terrain de jeu pour les pouvoirs.
Just so like right now we're in the exfil. This is the final moments of the activity. You send up a flare, you call your ship in. The Cabal are pouring down on you here. You're throwing out your renegade abilities.
Et le sabre laser sera toujours là.
C'est une arme. Until your ship gets there. In this case, each of the 3 jobs, bounty hunt, smuggle, and sabotage, have their own unique mechanic. So for bounty hunt, you have to take out these 3 mini bosses, which we call retaliators here.
Donc les des syndicats qui ont des contrats spécifiques à cette activité.
Fighting their way out. We actually do have a preview of a fun exotic that's coming with the reward pass in Destiny 2 Renegades. I believe we have a preview that we can share. But Bjorndal, if you could give a quick overview of our exotic machine.
Yeah,
so this is the Service of Luzaku. It's a very unique machine gun. It's almost like a necromancer, broodweaver theme where you turn your enemies into these little nests of threadlings that you can like shoot and then spawn more and like build it up to.
J'ai une vidéo dédiée à chaque exotique qui sortiront.
Yeah, and Threadlings just got a buff, correct?
Jamais.
Threadlings did get a buff. They're smarter than they were before.
Yeah, and sorry, to segue more appropriately, over the last few weeks we've been doing a series of blog articles with y'all on the Sandbox team talking about the core game updates coming to Destiny 2 available to all players. So we have a lot of quality of life changes that are coming to your supers, your subclass abilities, all that kind of stuff that we just previewed yesterday.
Sur les capacités, sur les
one
armes,
of which
sur les...
Warlock focused was around Threadlings, your strand abilities. Yeah, if you want to cover that really quick.
Yeah, so you can see here the Warlock is moving while rifting, which is a huge kind of quality of life upgrade that allows you to dodge attacks, get into cover, close the gap while you're casting your ability. Works really well with the new Warlock exotic as well. So there are, if you haven't seen that article we put out yesterday, please check it out. There's a lot of great buffs. We've shown hunters a lot of love. We love our hunters.
Vous pouvez faire votre rond en vous déplaçant.
Yeah, we saw some feedback with the exotic tuning article. Hunters were like, wait, I want to see more, which in the future we will definitely have more. But in the abilities preview.
Et le rond est plus grand.
We can't.
Le rond est plus grand.
There's a lot of exciting hunter stuff that we are working on.
So with the abilities updates for hunters, Golden Gun got a pass?
Yeah, so Golden Gun got a pass, does more damage and now scorches on impact. We fixed an issue where you had to step outside of your well to get full damage. Now you can stay in the well. Outside of that, we saw in the gameplay gunpowder gamble. If you throw it and you shoot it before it explodes naturally, it does more damage, more radius.
Ouais, non, maintenant il est forcément radiant.
Yeah, and as we're getting our loot, we need to cover the Titan changes for
le chasseur a eu beaucoup de gros changements.
Yeah, Sentinel Shield, we're excited about this one. So Sentinel Shield is getting a shift a little bit.
A bit of a rework, right?
Yeah, a bit of a rework. The usage rates weren't great, and we want to provide something that is kind of on par with Well, as far as like, what am I going to take into a raid to support my team? So in Renegades, your Sentinel Shield, as you're holding it up, your allies behind your shield are going to auto reload, and there's just kind of rhythm to it. So if you can fire at the
Ok,
right time, you
2,5
can just like
secondes
rock
l'autre et
it.
l'autre. Mais on ne sait pas pourquoi
Rock
j'ai
it.
retenu cette
Rock
info.
it.
Mais
So it is like the actual like
je l'ai lu
damage
hier soir et j'ai
increase
retenu ça. Voilà.
is big. Not only that,
Ah ouais,
but
c'est fort.
as I guard my
Ouais.
enemies and the shield takes
Ouais, toutes les 2 secondes
damage,
et demie, c'est rapide.
I'm charging this bar up that charges up my shield throw, and at full charge, that shield throw is going to do Thunder Crash level damage.
J'aime bien qu'il limite le mouvement du titan quand il
Depending
explique.
on how players use it,
T'as
maybe
vu
you
qu'il a
even
dit
get
que ça allait
2 of
faire
those
autant
out
de
of
dégâts
the
que
super.
Thunder
Like,
Crash le
it's,
shield chargé?
it's strong. So and that's what we want, right? We want
Ça, c'est fort.
to
Oui, derrière
provide
le truc du sentinelle, ça me
that
reconnaît.
power fantasy to
La
players.
barricade.
I think this era of Destiny is like fun first.
Yeah.
We want
Fun first.
players to have a great time and feel overpowered.
I'm gonna hold you to it. Yeah, I honestly can't wait. But
Dans l'article, ils disent que c'est un outil de chasseur qui est devenu maintenant probablement l'outil le plus puissant du jeu.
And Tom, you had mentioned invasions earlier in the stream,
Yeah.
and this is going to be our opportunity to show a little bit of that flavor. We're going to look at some of the UI in the orbit screens and our new hollow
On parlait
map.
du sentinelle.
And then we're going to
sinon.
show what it is to be invaded. New optional activity type as well,
Titan.
right?
Yeah. So in Invasion, like you might be familiar with Gambit. This is kind of like a new take on that kind of familiar mechanic here in Renegades, and we want players that kind of take on the role of a bounty hunter working for the syndicates, tracking down these renegades that are messing up their operations, taking out their commanders, stealing their stuff. And so you get to be kind of play on the other side here. You get to play on the opposition. So you're allied with all of the
Donc on
enemy
peut
combatants on the
envahir
field. You can kind of
la
wade in
partie
amongst them and
PvE
pick and choose the
de gens qui
strategic
jouent
moment
en
where you
frontière hors
want
la
to
loi.
like lash out at these players.
Mais
and,
attention,
like,
vous
steal their
choisissez.
bounty.
Vous pouvez
So
lancer
how do you
sans
launch into
invasion
this?
possible.
So here's the holo map, just for everybody. This is kind of a standard interface for the Lawless Frontier. This is how you access
Et
the
vous voyez
social
en bas en
space,
jaune qu'il
all
faut
of
une
our
monnaie
jobs,
pour envahir.
and then in the end game we unlock the yellow node, which is invasion, and the red node, which is the contested territory. So we can take a look at the contested node here. This is where all every day the syndicates are fighting over one of the maps on each of the planets, and you can kind of, as a defender, kind of throw in
Ok, j'avais pas compris ce que tu
your
voulais dire, c'est
pledge
ok.
to the side you want to fight for.
Oui.
But these are also invadable nodes. So one thing I want to highlight is
Voilà.
that invasion is opt-in.
Et vous choisissez un
It's,
nœud où vous pouvez
it's
être
not
envahir.
a requirement. So if players don't want to deal with PvP, they can do
Vous êtes
like
pas
an
obligé de
expert
faire du
difficulty for
PvP.
this, or they can just go to any of these other nodes on the map here that aren't invadable. But for the priority, the
Mais
contested
si vous
node,
le souhaitez, c'est
on the
PvE,
highest
PvP.
difficulties, like that's where the highest rewards are. That's where the invasion is. Now, on the other side, if you're an invader, you don't need to worry about the nodes. You can just go to the invasion node. You need to have some death marks, which are a currency you earn by playing by just playing Lawless Frontier. You'll just accumulate them. And one interesting wrinkle here is you can actually wager those for additional rewards. So if we go to the little pane here,
Mais
on
il
the
faut
side,
cette
there's
monnaie-là
these-
pour
there's
pouvoir
death
envahir, que
marks.
vous gagnez dans le mode
You
normal.
can interact with them two or three times.
Et quand vous
to
envahissez, vous
double
envahissez
and triple
seul.
your rewards, which obviously you're taking on some risk here. If you go do an invasion and it doesn't go your way, you could lose those tokens. But I think a lot of players are going to want to do this because they can just get triple rewards on each invasion, which is really
C'est un
exciting.
peu une invasion
And
à
on
la
the other
South.
side, for
Vous
people
voyez?
being invaded, if you take the
Ça
invader
rappelle
down,
aussi
you're
bien
going to
sûr
get
le
more time on the
Gambit.
clock. You're going to get some revives back, and every time you kill an invader, they have the chance to drop.
Mais il y a ce côté où vous savez pas
extractables,
quand
which
est-ce
are
que ça va
rewards you
arriver.
can dunk at the end of the activity to get bonus armor, weapons. Yeah.
Stellar. So let's get our invader launched in here.
Comme quand
We'll
vous êtes
go
dans
back
Dark
to
Souls.
our gameplay team.
Yep.
But while we're loading in, let's talk about what is the actual kind of approach to invasions. What are the objectives aside from seeking out guardians and destroying them?
Yeah. So as an invader, you're gonna start in the ready room, which we're gonna show in a minute here. You're gonna pick your loadout, like what's the right renegade abilities to bring in, and we've seen in playtest there's like a lot of different fun combos here. Like, are you gonna bring in the deflector shield, and then like the other team's gonna drop one, and then you're fighting on the Venn diagram of the deflector shields, or are you gonna just be a little more brute force and drop a behemoth and like kind of like, but try to be sneaky about it, and that's pretty hard to be sneaky in a
Ah, ça s'est arrêté moi. Attends.
Ouais, de mon côté aussi.
T'es prêt?
Yep.
3, 2, 1,
or 3 kills and 3 crests. Like you've got 6 points you need to get. You've got about 5 minutes to do it.
Ok, en plus
3
mon truc est mal setup.
You've got just enough time to really kind of like get in there, see where they are, kind of like rotate around,
Je mets ça mieux
and
les
then
gens. Mais...
do a surgical strike, and then try to get them all in one go. And if you're lucky, you can do that, but you've got a few chances. And on the other side, they're going to know you're there. They're going to see that there's an invader on the field, but they're also trying to juggle the objectives that are on their side. And
they don't know when in the activity it's going to happen, right? So it could happen early on.
Voilà, donc ils expliquent que on sait pas quand l'invasion va se passer. Donc t'es en train de jouer et boum, il y a écrit envahisseur. Mais vous l'avez choisi, et puis c'est envahi.
You can instill a little bit of anxiety in that team you're invading. So you don't have to hop in immediately and go guns blazing. You can wait until they're at a pivotal moment where they're like, where's this guy?
Yeah,
What's going to happen? It's been 3 minutes. Where are they?
Wait until someone breaks off to go find a chest.
Citas.
Yeah. Oh man. So in terms of balancing as well, are there any like extra abilities or things that invaders are going to have at their disposal, or is it just a match of the renegade abilities?
It's mostly renegade abilities, though. Invaders will have, some on a super, no heavy, and when they come in, we do highlight the PvE, the defender players, just so like they have a little bit of an idea where to go, and they can use that knowledge to kind of plan their initial attack.
Cool. Yeah, and it's been a bit of a balancing act as you've been going
Mais
through
pour
this in
revenir
the
sur le
different
sujet
cycles.
d'avant,
In Gambit,
c'est
like we
effectivement
choose that
difficile
invader
de
because it's a
compete
1v4.
à notre
In
époque
this, because you have the chaos
sur un jeu
and,
service.
the lawless frontier
Quoi qu'il
and all
arrive.
that kind of stuff. Like you want it to be tilted a little bit because it's 1v3, but also you want to make sure if players are opting into this, they still have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
So.
And there's also the element of the non-regenerating health, which is a larger health pool, right? We've tuned it so it's more or less the same TTKs or time to kills as you have in Crucible, but players don't regenerate health, so you kind of have to take that into account.
Et c'est vrai que le fait que la santé se régène pas compte avec le...
There's some attrition that can happen.
Dans l'invasion. Là, il va envahir du coup. Et au même moment, il choisit ses pouvoirs. Quand il a pas encore appuyé, là, il appuie.
Here's a little shank buddy. You want to speak to any of these abilities there?
Yeah, so we have 9 renegade abilities here. Huge shout out to Cat Sayers and the rest of the tech design team for all their work on these. Yeah, I mean, it looks like right now we got Nate picking the Imperium Behemoth and the Drop Pod, but yeah, there's a variety of ones to choose from. We got multiple. We have 3 different vehicles, and each of those vehicles have different upgrades with different functionality.
And the Behemoth has
like 3 or 4 versions of it.
Yeah, there's like missiles and
J'ai encore passé la nuit dessus la nuit passée.
Everything is so good. Okay, so our invader has started. It looks like moving toward our
Quand je suis pas sur Destiny, c'est parce que je suis en train de jouer à un autre truc,
to
quoi.
throw that coin. So you can see there they clicked that right stick, and that is going
Genre un nouveau jeu.
ready the ability. They then throw the ability and just drop the drop pod to get some heavy ammo. Yeah. So
Ils ont fait le largage de Nedimune.
And Tom, before we were hopping in here,
Genre j'ai 120 heures sur Arcrader, c'est sûr que c'est pas des heures que j'ai passées sur Destiny, quoi.
As an invader, like the first few runs, you might feel maybe a little lost because there's a lot of space to cover. But as you get more acquainted with Europa or Venus or Mars, you can find better paths to get directly to the combat.
Pareil quand je suis en train de jouer à Tower.
These are some of our bigger maps we built. They're more comparable to like our larger public spaces that we built in Destiny. And again, there's 6 of them, and like there's any number of arenas these PvE players can be in that you're going to be.
So our invader just went out with the Thunder Crash and tried to hide and throw out the beacon for the.
Ah ouais, l'envahisseur, il a des petits carrés à remplir.
Yeah, or the Imperium Behemoth as we call it, but then got needle stormed right before they could jump into it. That was incredible.
So that's one of those strategic moments of like, how do I put the chess pieces
peut-être le point de vue de l'autre, là, c'était l'envahi, je crois.
That was interesting because they invalidated
avec les Defeat Guardian.
before
Oh ouais,
they could use it. So
Peut-être un des buffs qu'il a fait au début, genre il rajoute un gardien dessus supplémentaire.
Yeah, in rewards.
En contrepartie d'avoir son buff, c'est bon.
So as you're wagering, you add more and more.
Et c'est pas un souci, hein. On peut avoir des expériences différentes. Hein. On n'est pas obligé d'être tous d'accord sur qu'est-ce qu'on ressent sur le jeu. Heureusement, on n'est pas des robots. Le Behemoth.
We're taking a lot of damage.
And the more
I don't know if he's gonna do it. Oh, he bailed. Oh.
Oh, il aurait dû continuer.
Who got who?
Oh, we had so many conversations.
Ah oui, non, en fait, il a laissé le robot pour qu'il croit qu'il était encore à l'intérieur du robot.
Ouais. Now I think one of our gameplay folks is just like, oh, Nate's mine.
Deleted.
Au final, c'était bien joué.
No, going back to rewards, the better you
Ton
do as an
ressenti est
invader, the
valide,
more
tout comme le
rewards
nôtre est
you're gonna
valide.
get. So each
Voilà.
kill, each crest
Pas
you put
besoin
on
qu'on
the
ait le même pour
scoreboard
qu'il soit valide.
equals more rewards, and then those get multiplied by your wager.
Cool. All right. So
Tu peux pas juger quelqu'un parce qu'il aime un jeu, tout comme tu peux pas juger quelqu'un parce qu'il aime pas un jeu.
Invader present still. So
oh, he's coming back for revenge. And it's immediately shut down.
Shut down with
C'est pas grave du coup. De tout ce qui sort.
I'm never gonna let Nate live.
with the 3-coin wager too, or the 3 Denmark wager.
He made a little bit there.
Good job.
So that's the I'm gonna put a little elbow in the ribs. The gambit you're taking. Ha 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 ha. So all right, we've gone through some Renegades content, rewards, all that kind of stuff. I would love to shift focus a little bit to our general rewards update. So in the portal, in a bunch of different activities, we're going to have some new weapons that we're offering. We also have an armor refresh for a bunch of our activities. And Bjorn, I'm going to put the spotlight on you. So starting with our Vanguard Ops sort of armor set, this is going to be earned through Solo Ops, Fireteam Ops, and our new Arena Ops activity, which is bringing back 6-player activities to our portal, which is really exciting. It's going to be kind of like your militaristic, hey, I'm a grunt. I'm getting in there, I'm fighting the dark forces. The weapons, Bjorndal,
T'aimes bien? Moi, j'aime pas.
we have a new pulse rifle. What do we got?
J'aime beaucoup cette tenue-là.
Rocket frame pulse rifle, so you have that option now to go with your mid-range grade. A lot of excellent perks in here. A lot of people love the arc perks and weapons, and now you'll have it on a rocket pulse.
And then we have a fusion rifle and a sidearm, correct? Cool. And then we do have some weapons that we're not showing in this stream, so stay tuned for launch. But next up, we're going to have our Pinnacle Ops. So in our previous season, it was a kind of streetwear samurai, and this armor theme is Kendo.
C'est un peu mieux, ouais.
2 returning weapons that I know players have been
Celle-ci en
pretty
gros,
excited about
noir et
seeing in
rouge,
the
ça fait
past.
quand même vachement
Some new
site.
perk combinations, but also a new heavy crossbow.
Yeah, so this is a new Void crossbow to kind of fill out our elements for the crossbow now, and I think this one can get box breathing, which is new. Should be pretty good for what crossbows do.
Oh boy! So box breathing, aim down sight, get extra damage, and then run up to the enemy. Box breathing doesn't apply to Serrated Edge, but you pull the bolt back out and do some more damage.
C'est pas les mêmes personnes qui font Marathon et qui font Destiny.
Next up, Crucible. So this armor set is actually pretty fun. Over the years, we've done
Marathon n'est
thematic
pas encore
sets
sorti.
tied to weapon foundries. So in the past, you've seen Hake, you've seen Tex Mechanica, and now Suros.
Poussé la saturation sur cette image.
Ouais.
Oh, wow.
Le vert est vert, le rouge est rouge.
Fusion rifle is a returning favorite, I believe.
Yep, yeah. Riptide's coming back. We have a new aggressive Void hand cannon and a high impact machine gun.
Awesome. And then, let's see, last but not least, Trials of Osiris. So another offering for our PvP audience. A few eagle-eyed players may have seen this armor set yesterday. A little sneak preview, totally planned. But yeah, we have a new armor set for each class. And as you can see, coming back with the glows, so as you get more wins on your card, you can unlock gold or red or blue. And then we have some new weapons that are coming as well.
Yeah, like this lightweight Void pulse rifle with your favorite model.
I admit, since the set came out on the moon, Eris, all the crafty bits on it, cleaning it up, having... sorry, what frame type did you say? Lightweight. I cannot wait. And then I believe also we have a preview of a hand cannon. Now, one of our folks on the gameplay team over here was whispering in my ear day by day, night by night, that these rolls are going to be a bit juiced, right?
Yes, yeah, this is a pretty juiced hand cannon. It's got perks for both PvE, PvP. It's a strand 140. You can get stuff like or slice explosive payload. So you have a lot of options for both PvE and PvP.
Awesome. Yeah, and across all of our activity types, we're trying to sprinkle out some things that players will get excited about, not just, oh, I'm going to go into PvE to get the PvE. Like, there are some PvP roles out there that you can get from your Fireteam Ops. There are some PvE roles that you can get from Trials. And that doesn't even cover what we have coming in the dungeon too. Before we do a little dungeon teaser, I do have a quick announcement as well as we're rolling through the list. We have an open access week that's coming on December 2nd. So for any folks out there that haven't played The Edge of Fate, that is actually going to be included in this open access week. So if your friends haven't played, if you haven't played, hop in, check out the beginning of our new saga. And earn some cool loot on the way. It's available to all players for that week, and it also includes some previous content as well, campaign and other. So let's see here. Dungeon. We want to talk about the dungeon. So Equilibrium. This is going to be our new dungeon. The race begins on December 13th at 10 a.m. So that's the second Saturday. We've already announced the time, but if you haven't penned it in, if you haven't gotten your fire team together, get ready for contest mode. For those that don't know what contest mode is, on day one, right at launch, this is going to be a very difficult difficulty tuned for competition. So if you want to go and try to be the world's first completion, this is your place to shine. And if you win world first, we have a cool trophy or some goodies for you. So contest mode is going to be available for the first 2 days, 48 hours of the dungeon availability. You can earn a really spicy emblem and some cool stuff as you go through that. And after World First has been declared, you also have normal mode. So if you want to give a pass on some of that harder difficulty content, you just want to dive in and see what's on offer, that'll be there for you. So before we move on, we actually have a fun trailer to show. We can go ahead and roll it.
6. Everything you've shown me, I've made real. I've marshaled the new Imperium to snuff out the light.
On dirait qu'on peut revenir en arrière hein, sur le lecteur.
You know what comes next. Give me strength.
C'est stylé ça.
Ouais.
Oh, j'aime ce que j'ai vu.
Take everything I have.
Ce qui est bien, c'est que le donjon, je l'ai pas vu les gens dans ma preview.
Welcome back. So, watching that trailer, I just realized we actually missed something.
C'est qu'il a l'air connecté davantage à
about the Praxic blade and customization.
Par rapport d'habitude.
There are different saber colors, correct?
Yeah, there's a wide variety of classic colors that I think players are going to have fun chasing down throughout the end game and maybe even Invasion.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, we showed it on the screen. Red, Invasions. Yeah. So, okay, moving right along, ending out our show, we're going to be covering what is going on
déjà pas mal de couleurs là. Même si des fois c'était très rapide.
Really cool things coming around. Vanguard orders are coming in week 2, and then after that we're going to have the Dawning returning. So this is our winter celebration, our event, inviting Guardians to hop in, play some activities, get some fun rewards, and bake cookies for their favorite vendors in our tower. So Tom, just a really brief description for folks that may not know what Dawning is.
Yeah, so the Dawning, you slay our enemies, you collect them as ingredients, and then you bake them into delicious treats you feed to your friends in the tower of Zavala. And he's just got thousands of Galar-doodles raining down upon him, and he gives you a gift in return, which could be, a spicy weapon roll, or you might maybe get some bright dust from some other pursuits and get this totally cool Winter Wolf armor.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Drifter is outside like, ooh, you're putting enemies into the cookies? But
it's totally a Drifter.
Right. The Winter Wolf set, this is going to be available for Bright Dust just by playing the game. Or if you want to snag it from Eververse for silver, go right on ahead. But also on top of this cosmetic, we have new weapons that are going to be a part of the Dawning.
Yeah, so we have a burst linear fusion rifle, a breach ring launcher, and a precision sidearm. And then also with this excellent new olive oil treatment. It's like covered in ice, and then as you fire, it'll slowly melt away the ice.
C'est un peu ça, ouais.
All right. Oh, and sorry, I have one correction being whispered in my ear. Dungeon race starts at 9 a.m. Daylight savings time strikes again.
Gets us every time.
Every time. Oof. All right. So with that Dawning preview over, we are at the end of our show. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. As I said earlier, it has been a monumental effort. A ton of folks throughout the team have been crafting this experience, collaborating with Lucasfilm Games, and really just making something for you, our players. And we really, really hope you enjoy it. So thank you for coming. We're going to kick it back to our launch trailer here in case you missed it at the top. And again, if you missed the ViDoc launch trailer, check out our YouTube. And after this, stick around. We're going to be handing it off to one of our community members, Leopard Stealth, a friend to us for many ages, a guardian of all time. But also, I don't believe he existed before 2004, I've been told. So, 04 or bust. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bisous. Héros le trailer. Écoutez. Oui, ça t'a plu?
C'était grave bien. Il est hypé de fou là.
Alors, sachez qu'on sera justement ensemble en live pour la semaine de sortie de Rebelle la semaine prochaine. Je pense que tu streameras aussi.
Yep.
Et on sera avec Sam qui était dans le chat juste avant. Qui a pris sa semaine pour l'extension. Donc on va bourrer.
They've shown me a vision I can't shake. New Cabal.
Ça va être cool.
J'avais pas vu la pause qu'il avait quand il se fait tirer dessus.
That doesn't just happen. It's the Nine, and I'm putting together a crew to prove it. What do you say, weapon?
Welcome to
Nice,
the new
okay.
Mars. Now the only law on Tharsis is the gun on your
Et du coup,
hip
je redis, mais à partir
and the
de
light in your hands.
demain, ce mercredi, 19h, vidéo sur la chaîne YouTube. Pendant 3 jours, il y aura que des vidéos sur Rebelle.
Business with these leeches. But we need to find out
Merci,
what the
Bonnie.
Dredgen are after.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much? It's time to take the fight to the Imperium.
Oh mais cette musique.
Finish it. And the Imperium is yours to lead. You will fall. The next time we meet.
Ça me fait bien, nice. Parfait ça. Je me souviens de l'époque où on faisait les raids et t'étais en... T'étais sur Shadow. Et sur, comment le truc d'NVIDIA là?
GeForce Now.
Ouais, il était sur GeForce quand on faisait les raids. Des fois ça buguait. Du coup là c'est cool. Trop bien.
Parce qu'au début, GeForce Now, c'était pas le truc le plus stable. Hein.
Top.
Mais c'était grave cool.
Ils sont morts. Et vous? Non.
Non.
550 ça, non? On y pense. On sera tous plus de 500 en tout cas pour mardi prochain, je peux vous l'assurer, puisqu'on est déjà plus de 500 dans l'équipe. Donc, on est 3, hein. Plus de 500.
Une vraie équipe, ça.
Trop bien.